Left crying by boyfriend after friend's death. F35 M45. 2 years of relationship, thinking of ending it. My boyfriend offered to come over to mine. We don't live together. After I found out my best friend had died. My friend died suddenly and alone, and I feel terrible that I couldn't help. I had to get the police to break into his flat when he stopped answering emails, phone calls. My boyfriend was aware of what was going on. After telling him this horrendous news, he said he'd come over to keep me company. I was sat on the floor hugging my knees and feeling very sad. My boyfriend sat watching a film. Suddenly, he started saying that he didn't like the way I was behaving and didn't like the atmosphere. He grabbed his stuff and stormed out my house. I was left crying on the floor. This is not the first time he has been emotionally unavailable. He has also made a habit of calling me offensive names, especially after drinking. Would you consider this behavior a reason to end this relationship? I'm trying to work out why he would behave like this. Girl, what? Him being an asshole is way more than enough of a reason to dump him. Don't worry about the why, just want better for yourself. The first time he called me offensive names it would have been game over. Dump him. 30F, 31M. Not sure what to do with my marriage or my husband. I am completely blindsided and just want people advice as I don't have anyone to tell this to because husband and I share the same friend circle. We have one child together, and have been married for 2 years. It has been a fairy tale to me and I thought things were going great up until recently. We have a party for our child. When he was born we moved into my mom's home and live there with my mom, my sister and her boyfriend. It is a spacious house and we could go days without interacting with each other as we all have our own bathrooms and etc. So fast forward to said party with family over, he started drinking, which he usually doesn't at all, and ended up drinking 5 beers back to back on an empty stomach. He was very talkative and friendly to everyone. Our child ended up throwing up after eating cake, so I grabbed him with my sister's help to wash him up, and I was cleaning him. My sister left the bathroom and forgot her phone in my room. My husband was sitting in the room messing with his PC. Later on that night my sister couldn't find her phone and my husband told her it's in the kitchen. My sister grabbed her phone and went on about her business. A week later she comes up to me in distress crying and shows me that while she wasn't with her phone, as we have a timestamp from the video I took of my child throwing up and her physically being with me at the time we were bathing him, that her phone somehow at that same time sent explicit photos of her and videos of her boyfriend XXX rated to my husband's phone. As soon as she told me, I was completely blindsided as I never got any type of feeling that my husband would ever do such a thing, so instead of accusing, I outright asked him if he ever received those photos and videos. To his reply was that he thought my sister sent it on accident, so he immediately thought to delete it because he felt awkward. My sister probed and started asking more questions, in which he began to get angry, yell, and pretty much told him that his only mistake was not even telling me about it. We decide to drop it, but that night my sister I still trying to piece together what could have happened. He knows her passcode. The thread of messages that they had were all erased, and the only thing in that conversation were those attachments that she only found because her watch kept saying storage full. So the messages were deleted from her phone but backed up on the watch. As she is starting to piece things together, all signs point to my husband going through her phone and sending himself those attachments. Why didn't he get our attention when he saw the phone in our room untouched, sending pictures and videos? The next day my husband sends us a group text from work saying that he contacted someone to look on the dark web to see how her phone would have glitched like that, and said her phone was cloned and that someone somewhere else hacked her phone and sent her photos only to him, which made no sense because why didn't they send it to her other contacts? And proceeded to say that since he went out of his way to find out, the hacker demanded that payment for this information was to cut off his finger by the time he is 45. We are early 30s. After we read that message, my sister and I were really scared and freaked out. I asked him to just give me space to process everything. He grandparent don't live far, so I asked him to stay there while I gather my thoughts and care for our child with a healthy mind. I told him that I didn't believe his story as he had no proof of the conversation he had with dark web people, and he went to say, "Fine, I'll just say I did it so we can all move on." I politely asked him to leave and give me space, in which he decided to shave his face and packed up his belongings and then started throwing away all his possessions. Which was very odd to me because I just wanted a few days alone. Why is he going to the extent of throwing away his valuable possessions? He ended up leaving, sleeping in his car, and telling me he didn't want to involve anyone, and that I no need to allow him back because I threw him out. It's been a rollercoaster of emotions as I don't know what to even do with this marriage. I care for child so much and never thought his would avenue ever happened to me. I don't even know what to believe. I thought I married my best friend. Edit. I added paragraphs. TLTR. Husband went into my sister's phone, sent her nudes to himself, got caught, and spiraled out of control. I think your husband is just doing a bunch of crazy stuff trying to confuse you when the reality is he did something very shady and disgusting and you are calling him on it. Suggest ignoring all of his reactions and talk of the dark web and anything related and focus on he sent private pictures of your sister to his phone. Is that what you want your life to be? If no, leave him out of your home and make the separation permanent and official. He's a creep. He's staying in his car rather than with his grandparents so he can play the victim and manipulate you into feeling bad and taking him back, because he's suffering so much. Don't fall for it. He's choosing his circumstances, just like he chose to violate your sister's privacy. If I was her I wouldn't feel safe being in the house with him alone ever again. Who knows what he's capable of if he can do something like this. This would be a deal-breaker for me. My 33F boyfriend, 28M, is extremely sensitive to everything. I am 33F and my BF, 28M, is very sensitive and tends to take everything as a personal attack against him. I am fine with people expressing their emotions, but he will let the smallest things just ruin the entire day. I've never dated someone when there is a small disagreement, or even just a difference in theory or opinion, and that will cause him to completely shut down. Sometimes he doesn't express it verbally but you can feel the hostility. He always says he's trying to let it go but you can sense he almost incapable of truly doing so and the hostility will last for probably the remainder of the day. So basically the entire day is a wash. I say incapable because whatever it was that upset him will just slowly pop up in conversation in a passive manner. Sometimes this will continue to happen for months and months afterwards, even if we discuss the problem. It's like he never truly lets it go. Everything is always made out to be about his feelings. For explain, he left my door opened and let my cat out the other day. I was very upset. I went into a panic and my heart was so broken. I ended up finding my cat, brought him inside and told my boyfriend to slam and lock doors to be extra certain they are latched. When I said this I was stern and serious, and I am serious. It hurt his feelings. It almost as if I have to talk to him like a child sometimes because if I speak to him in any manner that isn't soft-toned, he shuts down. I let it go. I was happy my cat was safe and inside. I had moved on but he was still acting strangely. I asked if he was okay and he replied, "I was really scared when you were upset." I shut down and didn't know what to do. "You scare me." I was not mean when this happened. I just saw my cat exiting the door and gasped. Grabbed my flashlight and coat and told him not to come outside to look. He may spook my cat worse because my cat is not as familiar with him as he is me. That's it. I was visibly upset. I had let it go but was still pretty shaken up even after I got my cat back inside. But I let it go because everything was okay now, and I didn't want him to feel bad given it was a mistake. But, somehow even though he messed up, and it was my cat that I love more than anything I can think of, he's the one who's suffering emotionally from it. Because he's scared of me? I'm nothing to be scared of. I was pissed off, for sure. I am not scary. I was scared my cat would be hit by a car and die. That's scary. How is this about him being scared? It's so irrational to me. I reacted like anyone would have. Panicked, agitated and upset. But somehow, it's about his feelings now? My heart was absolutely broken and I was sick to my stomach looking for my cat. I let it go and continued on with the evening, but somehow hours later his feelings are still hurt? How? How could he make this about him? I made the decision to let it pass and understand it was an accident. Even though I was shaken up for the next 24 hours after my cat got out. How did this become about him? Normal people just let things pass. Even if they're still shaken up about it. He's incapable of doing this. I really can't think of any other way to handle him being so emotional than to talk to him like a toddler of gentle parenting. I understand people can be more sensitive than others but there is a fine line between being in touch with your emotions, or just downright emotionally unstable and dwelling. I've expressed how I feel about this to him, and how it shoves me into a masculine role within our relationship. But still, even though I'm working to communicate with him on how this isn't healthy for us, he still takes it offensively and then I am just being a negative or aggressive person and we're back to square one. It's almost as if he's incapable of understanding. If I didn't give a damn about our relationship or him, I wouldn't be so passionate about fixing this. I love him dearly, so if anyone has any words of wisdom or experience with something like this, please tell me your outcome, how you resolved it, or if you even could resolve it. Too long did not read. Boyfriend dwells on his emotions and takes everything personal. This is who he is. You either need to continue to never show any form of emotion to him and continue to speak softly like you would to an abused animal, or you decide that you can't live the rest of your life like that and move forward without him. If you feel really strongly about the relationship, maybe couples therapy. Personally, I could never handle tiptoeing around everything because someone is sensitive. It's exhausting. Good luck to you. You're a better person than me if you decide to stay and try to figure out the relationship. He needs therapy, to be honest. Something in his past is perhaps making him shut down like this, maybe abuse. Things can't go on as they are. It's not about gender. It's about being a mature and reasonable adult who can handle serious interactions. You can't have a healthy relationship with someone you have to tiptoe around. I-34M. Read some messages between my girlfriend, 33F, and her best friend. I wish I hadn't. Hello. Me and my girlfriend are together since 3 years. Everything is going pretty well. I like her since a very long time. She wasn't into me at the beginning, but I ended up charming her. The other day she was looking for a picture that her best friend sent her a while ago, and in the convo I saw some pictures of a guy that my girlfriend sent to her friend. I asked her who was the guy and she said no one. So unfortunately I couldn't help it and I snooped. I read the messages that my girlfriend sent with the photos. She sent them 3 months after we started dating. We were already exclusive back then. She said, "I was at a wedding and I met the hottest guy today. We were looking at each other, it was so hot. And what did you do? I just added him on Instagram, he immediately accepted me. I wonder if I should talk to him." You should. He is partying with my friends tonight. I wonder if I should go. But if I go alone it's weird, and if I invite my boyfriend it's even weirder. You should go alone. Here is a photo of him, so hot. After I read this I was pretty worried. I started searching for my name in the convo and found a text from before we got together. This guy, me, is chasing me so much, but he doesn't attract me at all. Don't force yourself, but I have to admit that I like the attention. So I know, that's what you get when you snoop. But I am a little confused because I thought we were very romantic at this time. We still are, but I wonder if she still thinks like this about other guys. She cheated on her ex-boyfriend and she minimizes it a lot. It's almost his fault if you listen to her. When she told me about it I said she was wrong to say that. She decided to cheat. After a while she said I was right about it. I have no idea if she went to this party at the end. I have no way to remember. I don't want to talk about it with her. She hates snooping and she hates drama. What do you think about it? Should I try to forget what I saw? TDLR. I snooped and I am a little lost now. Peas. Sorry for my English, it's not my first language. I am not 100% sure she didn't already cheat on you also. It sounds like she is with you because it is convenient. I am sorry. Okay, you found out your girlfriend can't be trusted and is a cheater. The next move is you break up with her. This isn't something that needs communication. She showed you what she's all about. You say you wish you hadn't read them. Man, I would be over the moon that I read them. She is 33 and still feeing around. Thank God you know so you can flick her and move on. Cats need love too. So you all agree that this is a huge red flag and I should leave? You already knew she was a cheater when you got with her. Are you even surprised? People are only loyal as their options. She's with you until something better comes along.